Welcome in, everybody. It's the coach, and you're tuned in to Madden 19 on EA Sports. We're just about set to get started, and this ought to be a good one between the Pittsburgh Steelers.
All right, Coach, thank you. EA Sports coverage of the National Football League brings us to Gillette Stadium in Foxborough, Mass. Today, we're set for a good AFC matchup between the Pittsburgh Steelers and the New England Patriots. To return, it's Cam Sutton. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. Now a play fake here on first down. And this one complete to Jermaine Gresham. An excellent way to start the drive there, 18 yards.
So much goes into a successful play, doesn't it? How about that play action there, freezing the defense just enough to bring the tight end free downfield for the completion.
Throwing now, Roethlisberger on first down. And yes, complete to the tight end McDonald. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
And he's going to go down. They sack him back at the 42. And after the sack, he's still down on the field. We'll get a report when we return to Foxborough. And on third down, a nickel formation here defensively.
Hurry up, here we go.
Shotgun snap for Rudolph. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off right around the 43. And a terrific return there. They're finally able to corral him down near the 11-yard line. They were ball hawks last week. They had a trio of interceptions on defense. In the first drive, they pick up right where they left off.
They're creating quite a reputation for themselves, aren't they? And sometimes what happens is when they know that the defense can take the ball away, as they saw the previous week, now you try too hard to not let them take it away, and you force yourself into errors. They've intimidated them, in a sense, and gotten the ball from them.
So after the INT, it's Brady. And his first pass is incomplete. Gronkowski, the... Intended target, and that'll bring up second down. To throw again, Brady. And not only did he drop it, he dropped it in the end zone.
Defensively here, you're facing a top-5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL, so when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored.
And that's caught by Bennett. Touchdown, Patriots. As his guys are in for 6, and the Pats have taken the early lead. And what a moment we have just witnessed. We have a new all-time passing touchdown leader.
And how fortunate are we to be here to witness this in person, to see someone take their spot at the top of the list, one of the all-time great records in sports.
Gronkowski now out to kick it away. Sutton now to return. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. The Steelers offense now, they head back onto the field. And following the interception, Just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here.
Green 39! Green 39!
They'll run it now out of the gun. And a short gain there as he'll get it up only to about the 24. Give him 3 yards on the run there. That still leaves him with a difficult 3rd and 8 coming up.
Sometimes your philosophies get challenged at times you don't want them to. They did try to stick to the running game on the first 2 plays. It didn't amount to much.
And now facing a 3rd and long at the outset of this drive.
All right, here we go. Boom, landed.
Throwing on 3rd down, here's Rudolph. And he goes down. It's a Patriots sack. Von Miller in there to drop him, and he continues to wreak havoc in offensive backfield. Sack number 16 on the year. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. 0 accountability, and a sack resulted.
Brady now to throw. He gets it into the hands of Gronkowski, complete. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. Pretty darn good, as you see right there on your screen.
I'll echo that. Darn good. 2 touchdowns, right? And the ability to be in sync with each other, right? To understand that he's going to be where the quarterback expects him to be when the ball's thrown.
And now a fumble. Brady loses the football. And it looks like Steeler football. It is. A little careless with the football, and he also had a fumble loss last week, didn't he?
He certainly did, and when I'm watching him play, the one thing that comes to mind is always remember, traffic, turbulence, people around you, 2 hands. Get 2 hands on the ball. Grip it tight. I know it looks cool to have it in one hand. Put it away, tuck it away, because you've got to take care of the ball.
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
Well, they're slinging it. And then there's one you got to put a timer on, huh? I mean, that one came in hot.
That came in hot, but overthrown out of his reach and incomplete.
Here we go now. Green 39.
2nd and 10, Rudolph again. That is caught right at the 10-yard line. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. That one goes for 16 yards. It sets him up 1st and goal. A first opportunity for the Steelers in the red zone. They're looking at a 1st and goal from about the 9. Here's counter. And they'll lose yardage here. They go backwards to the 13-yard line. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up 2nd down.
That's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
He'll get it up the middle. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. Call it a loss of 2 on the play. And that's going to bring up an interesting 3rd and goal.
Well, that play was over before it even got started. Thanks for nothing, huh? How about that? That sets up a very difficult 3rd down call now.
Now Rudolph with 3rd and goal. And probably the wise decision there. No one open. He just throws it away. And that keeps the field goal on the table as it's 4th down.
And what did we talk with them about prior to the game? Their ability to move the chains, pick up 1st downs. So far, 0 for 3 on 3rd down. If that continues, they'll have little chance of winning this one.
And Boswell's kick is good. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So they do get 3 points, but that's now 3 drives with only the 3 points, not a ratio that's going to win you many ball games.
Not at all, Brandon. And think about it this way. We all know payoff is the key, right? And wouldn't we love to have the concession on every T-shirt that's been printed in football that says finish on it? Because that's the mantra everywhere. Got to be able to finish drives, put points on the board.
Wait 20. Wait 20. On the right.
They'll run for the first time with Sony Michel. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. Joe Hayden there to bring him down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
On second down, here's Brady. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Bennett. Now the ball comes loose, and it looks like Steeler football. It is. Oftentimes you say some guys have a knack for creating turnovers. He forced a fumble last week, forces another one.
And one of my good coaching buddies, Frank Delano, always told me, hey, Davis, creating turnovers is not as much about skill as it is about desire.
Oh, I thought it was going to be will, because will rhyme with skill.
Come on,
we went with desire. We'll go with desire.
What are you, the rhyme master now?
The numbers there for Connor in last week's game. 20 carries, 63 yards.
And I'm eager to see how they deploy him in this game. Last week, a heavy workload. Do they decide to bring that down a little bit and try and keep him fresh? Or do they say, guess what? He's locked in. Keep handing him the football.
And he'll take this one down to about the 40. There to stop him, Juwan Bentley.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size and these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
And they are able to stop him, but he does take it all the way to the 2. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a first and goal.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield, but when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's a...
And it's caught. It's Brown. Touchdown, Steelers. Antonio Brown with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Steelers are able to strike for 6. Boswell good with the extra point. And the lead is now 10-7. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. And the Patriots gearing up to go now. And they had the fumble last time that led to a touchdown. That's a no-no. We'll see what they do here this go-around.
A big no-no. Put that in capital letters. Turning it over, the other team takes it down and scores. That can be a deflator for a football team. Now it's up to the offense to get back out on the field and pick things up.
They're out there. We'll see if they can pick those things back up. An excellent pickup of 34 yards.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they fill field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
It's a 6-yard pickup, but it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Let's go.
This running game's so important for them, and they know that. It helped lead him to a victory last week when he was over 100 yards.
Let's face it, it's their identity, and that's what they want to play to. They want to be that team that runs the ball.
Gronkowski's going to go. A gain of 32 that time. Ah, yes, Brady to Gronk. You think these two are in sync?
Without a doubt. And look, they both understand what they can do for each other. Gronk knows if he gets open, the ball's going to be there.
And that's caught by Gronk for a Pats touchdown. Tom Brady with 2 first-quarter touchdown passes, and the Pats able to cash in for 6.
Well, the lost sleep that the defensive coordinator had all week preparing for this game, a good portion of it was trying to prepare for him because he's absolutely a phenomenal player.
And a lot of times around the goal line, they know it's going to him. It's just so hard to stop.
And that's where it really becomes difficult because you're exactly right. They know it's going to him, yet they still can't stop it. That tells you when you're a dominant player.
Gostkowski the extra point, and the lead is now 14-10. Gostkowski now out to kick it away. Sutton now to return. Now a hit and a loose football. And his guys will take over at the 25-yard line.
How many times in the course of a game do you talk about momentum plays? And I think we just saw one there. Just scored, right?
Just took the lead.
Just took the lead, went downfield, got the ball free again and picked it up. They got a chance to really get the momentum on their side now.
After review of the play, the ruling on the field is reversed.
Rudolph going to lead the Steelers up now 1st and 10 at their own 24. first down. Rudolph. This one complete. Right side to McDonald. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
Seeing that play and understand just how tough it is to cover tight ends, especially the ones running around the NFL nowadays, makes me glad I didn't make it in that league. I would have had a really difficult time.
But now you get to sit up here with me.
Yeah, and that's fun, isn't it? And what a really nice gain right there on first down for them. Brings up a nice second down for them.
A gain of 4 that time as the drive continues. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. And he'll grab a gain of 5 out of this up to the 41-yard line.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Green, 39.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he will be brought down at about the 43 that time. It'll be a pickup of a couple, and it leaves him with a 3rd and 3.
Whenever we talk about the best strong safeties, one word constantly comes up, and that's instincts. Being able to diagnose run or pass and make the appropriate moves.
He crashed down hard there. He was ready for that running play. They'll fake the handoff. Now Rudolph. To the sideline, and oh, that's well done. Able to drag the feet. He's going to have the first down. It'll be a pickup of 4, good enough to earn him yet another first down.
And that's how you pick up a first down. Not only does he make the catch, but has enough body control to get his feet down.
Couple of first downs to kick off the drive. Here's 1st and 10 up at the 46.
Here we go now. 3-19.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
And now he'll tuck it and run. Only a yard there on the keeper, and that's going to leave him with a 3rd down.
Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stop that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything.
The Pats are going to get there. Down he goes. Von Miller in there to bring him down, and that is sack number 17 for him now on the year.
Well, someone's closing in on the league lead in sacks. He came into the game in the top 5. Now you add 2 more to his total.
Oh, boy, he fielded it right on the goal line. Oh, it shifts past him. Good blocking there. Nearly sprung him as it is. So the Patriots coming out now. They're starting to pull away with this one. Early on that first quarter, they didn't look so great offensively. What has changed?
Sometimes it's just a matter of doing what you plan to do better. Sometimes you just put that all together and you execute. Other times it's just in a simple adjustment in your game plan, finding a spot that maybe was a little weaker than maybe you thought, and going to that. So many different things, so many different ways, but right now, you got to like what they're doing. They have put distance between themselves and their opponent.
Looking to add on here in the second quarter.
And now some teams use the running game just to bludgeon people. I think that Brady to Gronk does the exact same thing for them. Long, short, medium, they know how to connect.
In ways that sort of revolutionized the quarterback-tight end relationship. They can go, as you've told me before, they go medium, they can go short, they go long.
And the way that Gronk is used, he's not just a tight end. Oftentimes they'll put him on the backside of formation as the single wide receiver, and he runs routes exactly that way.
On 2nd down, Michelle. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. That goes as a gain of 11 and a Patriot first down.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another first down with that run.
Brady looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Hubbard. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size can't really hide him. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a first down. What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
Now a second down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete. They're going for a receiver there. Already has 1 touchdown in this first half. A second one not to be.
I like where their headspace is, though. I mean, I really like the thought process, right? You got a guy who's already scored one, right? You want to go back to him, continue the hot hand, and make them adjust to you defensively. I like what they were trying to get done, even though they weren't successful.
This is caught. Gronkowski. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a first and goal.
Brandon, with the way things are going with Tom Brady finding Gronk as many times as he has in this game and the team is winning, you think at some point maybe even Brady will do the Gronk dance?
Well, if he does that, Gronk, now he's over the line and into the end zone for a Patriots score. Sony Michel, his 6th touchdown of the season, and the Patriots add on to their lead. And Charles, when you catch that toss going right or left, really, but right in this instance, do you go straight for the pylon? Is that where you're going?
Well, typically you want to try and maneuver people a little bit so you have some space to get to the pylon. So I want to make sure I try and move them a little bit to the inside, and in this case to the left, so I can get to the right side and get to that pylon and wink at it as I go by.
Gostkowski with the extra point, and that makes it a 21-10 game. Gostkowski now out to kick it away. Sutton now to return. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
They start with a give to counter. And there just continues to be nowhere to run. He's bottled up again at the line of scrimmage.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
They run with counter. Fights loose. And they work this well upfield across the 45. That's good for 21 yards and a first down.
Well, plenty of credit has to go to the guy carrying the ball. He broke the tackle and gained the yardage. But that doesn't necessarily mean that the defender's bad. They're not going to make 100% of the tackles all the time. Even the best in the game will miss one occasionally. The key is not to let it snowball and miss tackle after tackle. On that play, credit to the offense, but that doesn't make the defense bad. They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Rudolph. No, he almost had it. Already with 1 interception, just missing his second there.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
And this is going to be incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
The Patriot offense now set to come back out onto the field. Last time they were out here, they had the benefit of good field position, led to a touchdown. This time, they're going to have to work for it.
They are, but with that last drive, that culminating touchdown, I think they carry that confidence into this one. It doesn't matter where you start with the football now, they have to feel great about their opportunity.
Holding, offense.
So a decent game,
Still first down.
not on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
20.
Following the penalty, Michel. And now running right through it. Oh, and now he bowls him over. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 20. 14 yards is the pickup there, and a New England first down. All right, coming up at intermission. Charles, you want to wait to enhance your Saturday?
I certainly do.
I've got just a thing for you. It's the coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by Orlando. He'll be alongside at half to take us through the weekend in the NFL. To Michel on the screen. And they're able to get this one across the 35. And the play goes for 19 yards. Gives them a new set of downs.
They ran that one well, and not only did they pick up a nice chunk of yardage on the screen, they sent a message to the defense. Rush the passer all you want, but you better be careful. We can hit you going back the other direction.
He's going to loft one deep left side here. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Patriot touchdown. Tom Brady, his third touchdown pass of this first half, and the Patriots add 6 to their lead. Now, he's tough to contain as it is, but in man coverage with a pretty deep pass downfield, really tough to contain.
And it's so difficult because every play you've got to consider he might try and run past you. So your goal as a defensive back is to give him plenty of cushion, meaning lots of space between you and him. If he wants to catch the short stuff, come up and secure the tackle. Hit him a bunch during the game and try and keep him in front. But if you turn your head for a second, if your concentration wanes,
bye-bye.
He just takes off and goes, and I think that's what we just saw there.
Extra point good by Gostkowski, and the lead is up to 18 now. Gostkowski now out to kick it away. Sutton now to return. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. Out comes the Steeler offense now, ready to see what they can do here. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him. All right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But, hey, listen, there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
Here's Rudolph. He'll get this one to Switzer. That one goes for 36 yards. And now we won't see a play on first down. We're going to get a timeout instead, as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. Now it's Rudolph. And he's got his man, the tight end, McDonald. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. From the red zone now, Rudolph. Over the middle, and it's incomplete. Antonio Brown, the intended receiver. And now it's 2nd down.
But one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown them a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after them. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. And too much on that one. It's out of the back of the end zone, incomplete. Vance McDonald, the tight end, was the target. And it's third down.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true of them.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Von Miller in there to get him, and that's sack number 18 for him on the year.
I think you saw the same thing that I did there, partner. Remember, he's their backup quarterback, so the last thing they need is to lose another one right here on the sack. Looks like he's going to be okay, though. Yeah, he looked like he was favoring something in the left leg. Appears to be fine now, but you're right. That O-line, they got to protect him. So out comes a field goal team now for the second time here today. He hit his first, this one from 40 yards out. And Boswell's kick is good. And high fives for that one as that drive ends in 3. So they're still down, but they are able to salvage 3 here heading into the lockers. This is what you work on from the beginning of training camp. Heading into the half, put some points on the board. No matter what the score says at that point, you've accomplished what you set out to do.
Final play of the first half, barring a penalty, as they come up on 1st and 10. The final shot before half for Brady. Trying to set up the screen, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Bud Dupree. And he'll get this back down to about the 12-yard line. So we've reached halftime here at Gillette Stadium with the Patriots. Due to time constraints, we move you forward in today's broadcast to the beginning of the third quarter. So here we go for half number 2. The Patriots with the lead, and they will be getting the football. Set to return. Here's Raheem Mostert. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. Now the Patriots offense, they work their way back out onto the field. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, you feel like you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
It's still third quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
Brady again here on 2nd and 10. He's going to launch this thing way downfield. And they went for a big play through the air on 2nd down. Couldn't connect. Now it's 3rd.
One of the toughest things about playing defensive back is pattern reading, trying to figure out what they're doing. And on that one, they had the fly, just sending the guy downfield with the in route accompanying it, what people call a dagger route, trying to hit the guy underneath. After
he's got a man, complete. Yeah, he's got to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. Give him 35 yards there on the 3rd down conversion.
In our pregame meeting, all they talked about was keeping him hemmed in and wanting him to make his throws from the pocket because they knew he was pretty dangerous if he got outside, and he just showed it right there. Pretty good arm, too.
Now a throw to the end zone on 1st down, but it winds up incomplete. So they took a shot on 1st down, but couldn't connect.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that 1st down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Now here's a look for the end zone, but that one's going to wind up incomplete.
Tremendous field position there and a perfect time to do exactly what they did. Take a shot at the end zone. And they went for the big play, just unable to complete it.
To throw, it's Brady. And he can't find any And he goes down. T.J. Watt in there to drop him for a 4-yard loss, and it'll be 4th down. And here the pressure from the outside linebacking spot.
And normally when that happens and they're able to get home, that means the other guys on his team helped him out a lot. But they occupied people to allow it to be no less than a one-on-one situation, allows him to get home.
And that right there is something we've seen, 15 times in NFL history. That will officially go down as a 60-yard field goal.
And everything has to be absolutely perfect for this to have any chance. He's got to get it out low and really drive through it. And I tell you, that was one heck of a kick. One heck of a decision on the sideline to even try it as well.
Rudolph going to lead the Steelers up now 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. It's Connor as they stay on the ground. Space to maneuver at the 40. And nothing but daylight ahead. A big play that time for Pittsburgh. Give him 52 yards on the ground. He had been held in check. Now he breaks that big run. Shows the explosiveness we all knew was there.
All right, tell the truth now. You knew it was just a matter of time, didn't you? We've seen this so many times from him. Hold him down, and then breaks out.
Right back to him on 1st down. And he'll be taken down near the 20 at the 21. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
And this is why aggressive defensive coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
Here's Rudolph now on 2nd down. It's complete to Brown, right side. And he takes it down to the 10-yard line. He had the touchdown earlier. This one's going to get him a 1st down.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
And it's caught. It's Brown. Touchdown, Steelers. Antonio Brown, his 2nd touchdown of the game and his 9th on the year. And the Steelers are able to close the gap just a bit. Extra point put through by Boswell. And it was a tight window. He knew he had to rocket that thing in there. He got it done.
And when you're able to complete one like that, your confidence has to just go sky high. You just mentioned it. Tight window, zings it in there despite excellent coverage. Result, touchdown.
Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. The Patriots offense now. They work their way back onto the field. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. Throwing now is Brady, being chased out left. And he gets this to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. They call it a gain of 19, and it moves the chains.
On any given pass play, you never know exactly where your exit points are going to be. On this play, it was flushed to his left, still on the run, able to accurately throw the football for a nice 1st down.
Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or 2 shy of the 30. 12 more yards there and another 1st down.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone. Or
better against... man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
This quarterback now over 300 yards now for the game, and time to improve on that as he's got a 1st and 10. Throwing on 1st down is Brady. He's going to rifle one deep left, and it'll be intercepted. Delvin Breaux with a pick, and a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Brandon, these cornerbacks have their hands full all afternoon long, but they finally get a measure of revenge as he gets himself in a nice spot. He's able to get two hands on the football and pick it off.
Hurry up, here we go. Green 39, green 39.
After the interception, here's Rudolph. Rush coming, and he's taken down.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Now let's go. Green.
Cover. And he'll take this one only up to about his 13-yard line. He'll get 3, but it leaves him with a big hole here on 3rd and very long. Not the start to the drive they were hoping for. That run doesn't get them much at all.
No, not at all. And that leaves them with 3rd and long, which means you got to dial up something pretty good. Think your best player with a play that he likes to run best.
3rd and long. It's Rudolph. Throwing the out route incomplete. That's McDonald. And mark him down way up close to the 40 at the 39. A gain of 26 on the 3rd down conversion.
But when you hit him on the move like that, and he's able to get into open field with a full head of steam, oh, boy, it's going to be tough to get him down.
Yeah, there was a big window. They're lucky they did get him down. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
All right, here we go. 3-19.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And nothing doing here as this time the run maybe gets them back to the line of scrimmage, but that's it. No gain on the play this time, and it'll be a 3rd and long situation coming up. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down.
Here we go now. Green 39, green 39.
From the gun on 3rd down, it's Rudolph. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning. Hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. A good return there, 17 yards. And the Patriots take over. Out comes the New England offense to see what they can do this time. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done. Finally, a good play there defensively on the deep ball. The secondary has had its struggles this entire game. Offensively, they've had their way with them.
Over the middle, complete. It's Hubbard. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
Well, they were unable to make anything really big out of that. But it's not a bad idea to find your tight end and give him an easy completion and keep moving things forward. Almost his bread and butter. It's a good running back dive play.
Hard throw, incomplete.
Well, touch and timing are critical for those types of throws. He put a lot of zip on that one. Needed just a little bit more finesse trying to get it to his back.
And no move to get the offense off the field. They're going on 4th and 5. They do go for it. It's Brady. Steps away to his left. And he's got his man. It's Darbo. And he will have the first down as he gets this to the 47. They're able to keep the drive alive. 7 yards that time, and the decision to go for it proves to be a good one. Now a first down carry. It's Michelle. Bud Dupree, a former first-round pick, in on the stop.
In my book, that's running the ball well, but with intelligence. How about him keeping the clock moving, staying in bounds?
Yeah, even though it's the 3rd quarter, you're thinking ahead, aren't you? This is where your running game can really help you with a lead in the second half.
I agree totally. It's not just end-of-the-half situations that you worry about the clock. It's throughout the game. And with a lead, stay in bounds. Make them fight harder to try and catch you.
We get set for the 4th quarter. Patriots have the lead. They also... New England on 3rd down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This is 3rd and 7.
Wait, 20. Wait, 20.
Working from the gun, it's Brady. He's going to float this one deep right side. And that one incomplete. Had some position but couldn't hold on, and it brings up fourth down. Charles, you said earlier this defense is probably going to need to hold these guys right around 20 or under that if they were going to have a chance. It was evident pretty early on that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, they left 20 behind a long time ago in this game, didn't they? It looks like they're headed towards a big, big number. But 20 was the threshold because that kept them in the ball game and kept the pressure off of their own offense.
Rudolph going to lead the Steelers up now 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. Now Rudolph on first down. And his throw is going to be incomplete.
I think he's a little trigger happy right there, and it turned into an ill-advised throw into their zone.
Well, we know he has confidence. He'll throw it any place, anytime, anywhere. That time it fell incomplete.
Now let's go. Green.
Back to the air. Rudolph on second down. Open man right side is Smith-Schuster, complete. And the Steelers on third down. They're hitting at just 30%, 3 for 10. This is 3rd and 4.
Green 39. Green 39.
Here's Rudolph. He'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. He's shoving his way inside the 35. And he's out of bounds, able to take this one up to the 35. 9 yards on the play and a first down.
This possession means so much for them. They've got to focus on this drive and find a way to make this a one-possession game.
Yes.
Got to get a score.
Yeah, so good with a field goal. Don't necessarily need a touchdown. Rudolph looking to throw. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. 2nd and 10, Rudolph again. And he comes back with one complete. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
Rudolph throwing again. And that is incomplete.
Well, we're not playing 3 yards in a cloud of dust football anymore. I kind of get why those old school coaches sometimes didn't want to throw the football. Because if it's popped up in the air, it almost turns into slow motion. And both sides trying to get to the football, and you're holding your breath wondering whether it's going to go good or bad for your team.
Here we go now.
4th down, desperation time for Rudolph. And that is incomplete. Mike Tomlin takes a shot here, but to no avail. And the Patriots take over, and they're going to have terrific field position. So they really needed points here in a 2-score game. Could not come away with anything there on 4.
And while we know they're a little bit discouraged here, they can't check out of this game. You and I have called a good number of games over the course of our career where we've seen these types of situations. Teams get the ball back, and that miracle does occur. So they can't let that dream go just yet. They have to get stout on defense here.
Yeah, right now really hoping for a turnover. And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there, but it's enough to give him a new set of downs.
Well, it is our business to analyze what we saw out there. And on that play, I saw a defense staying in base, not taking a chance, not blitzing in a situation where they absolutely need the football back. That's either a case of overthinking it or not thinking it through.
If you do blitz, do you have to be careful about where you're coming from, or are you just coming from all angles?
You have to be careful about where you're coming from, obviously. But at this stage, you have to take a few chances as well.
On the ground is Michel. And he'll get a couple here down to the 22.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home. The Steelers insert their nickel defense on 3rd down.
Yeah, they add a DB. They'll try and run for it. Here's Michel. It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Illegal block in the back. Offense.
So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. The linebacker Ryan Shazier there to make the tackle.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old-school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run. Got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
So up through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. Time for a break. We'll come back and see this one out after this. So the Patriots with a football as we get you reset. And you'd have to figure they're just looking to burn these final 2 minutes away and get out of here with a victory. They'll run it now out of the gun. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go. A good chance now to put this game on ice. This is 1st and goal. Trying to pound it in here with Michel. The ball comes out. And he's maybe going to get this back to the 4, but that's about all. And the Steelers signal for another timeout as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. They'll give it to him up the middle. And he'll get blown up behind the line of scrimmage. Back at the 6. And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here, as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. They'll try to run it in. Michel. And he'll get blown up behind the line of scrimmage. Back at the 6. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
This offense bent the defense in their long drive downfield, but once they got within sight of the goal line, the defense went to don't break mode and is stiffened.
Gostkowski's kick is good. And that will get the lead up to 14. So they settle for just the 3, but clearly right now anything helps trying to salt this one away in the 4th.
Without a doubt, obviously a touchdown probably would have been the final nail to finish this thing off, but they still ate up time, got points. So while it's not mission accomplished, it's darn close.
The Steelers offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. And on that last drive, went for it on 4th, turned it over. A good job by their defense, though. They held them to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on 4th down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my defense. I can afford to go for it here, because if we don't get it, I don't think we'll give up more than 3, and that's exactly what happened.
You think that factored in?
I do. I think that he had that in his mind going into the game, that I'm going to be aggressive on offense because I know I've got a defense that can hold up their end.
He's going to let it fly. So the long attempt falls innocently to the ground, and it brings up 3rd. Tried to go for the big one there on 2nd down. Now they're likely down to their final 2 plays.
And you know they've got to keep going for the big shot, right? So defensively, you play what they call top down. Nothing behind you. Make everything get completed in front.
Throwing on 3rd down, here's Rudolph. He gets it to Brown, complete. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. The 21 yards there as they convert on 3rd. And he clocks it with just over 30 seconds left. Again, it's Rudolph. And too much juice. It'll be out of bounds, incomplete.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, fourth quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions.
Green, 39! Green!
Back to the air, Rudolph. And he finds McDonald. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. And a nice gain at 21 yards. First down now, but that clock rolling. And he'll spike it here with 13 seconds showing on the clock. And this one incomplete. And all that remains is 13 seconds.
Hurry up, here we go! Green, 39!
Rudolph going to throw again. That'll be incomplete with 9 seconds now showing on the clock. James Conner, the running back, his intended receiver. And it's 3rd down. Well, too much oomph, too much mustard there on that pass.
They really turned it loose, didn't they? Really cut loose with that one. Sharp, strong. Didn't lead to a completion, though. Made it very difficult.
And it's intercepted at the goal line. Devin McCourty picks it off. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Obviously disappointing, but you had to go for broke here, down 2 scores. So that forced you to make some throws you definitely wouldn't want to make. And I think this interception is going to pretty much write an end to this one.
They'll go ahead and take the knee here, and the unbeaten season will continue. Well, I know at points in this one you wanted to close your eyes because of all the points that were being put on the scoreboard. You're a defensive guy, but it was a fun little track meet, wasn't it?
It was, and you know the people who really enjoyed this game? They're the ones that like going to batting practice at the Major League Baseball parks, right? Seeing the 14-11 game, that sort of deal. That's right up their alley with what we saw in this one.
So for the Patriots, the streak continues as they push their